Hello and welcome to August. I'm totally getting this strength up after I put up the blog post and I realized that some of you got emails and I apologize for the inconvenience. But we got 3 moves for August, 3 little moves. And what I'm trying to do is fire up the TVA. So if you are coming back to this habit, if you've been out of the habit for a while and you are like trying to go from zero to do, awesome. One of the first things that you're going to notice happening is lower back pain. I hear this from runners all the time. And I think honestly, it has less to do with ramping up too much too quickly and more to do with not engaging the part of the TVA, the part of the core that I care about the most, which is the core. When we talk about the core engaging, it's more than just doing an ab crunch, which is what we tend to think of. It's a coordinated move, like a big belt that goes all the way around your body. It includes your back and it supports your torso. When you don't have an activated TVA, you don't have that cage locked, and it tends to put extra pressure on your lower back. So the 3 moves this month are pretty simple. They're not going to feel like a super duper challenge, and that's intentional. What we're trying to do is brace your body just a little bit for the increased mileage that we certainly hope is going to come, while acknowledging that no one ever follows the training plan in August because it is disgusting. The weather is terrible. The air is also really hard to breathe. And finally, most of us are just enjoying the last bits of summer. And if we don't have a big fall race on the calendar that demands ever increasing mileage, why wouldn't you relax for the month of August? So if you have a ball, grab it. If you have a pillow, that works too. Nothing too big. I'm going to use this. We got 3 moves. And the first is hand to foot, ball, pillow, whatever pass. The second is an alternating arm reach. And then the third, Russian twist. There's no bonus move this month because if you're here, that is the bonus move. Yay for you. And don't forget, if you do want more, it's free to join the Extra Mile with Coach Jen. It's normally $20 a month, but we're opening it free to everyone if you want in. Email me, mk@fitnessprotection.com. So what we're going to focus on here, when you lay down, whoop, make sure. So we want your bones, your pelvic bone, the backside of your pelvic bone here in a neutral spine. Then flatten it out a couple of times. Press hard with an exhale. Inhale. And the reason we do this is we're just waking the muscles up. It's nice. Okay. From here, take whatever it is you're putting between your feet. Exhale as you activate. Lower as far as you can with your arms over your head. Reach up and grab the thing. Try to keep a slight bend in your knee. We don't want to keep, if this is where you are, that is valid, but we don't want to be curling up too much. Try to keep things as straight as much as possible. And if that means you're reaching up, but keeping your feet here, because that's where you're at, that is totally fine. Or you can lower those legs a bit. Lower them to where you feel comfortable. Lower is not de facto better, especially if it stresses out your lower back. What we're going for here, when your lower back starts to lift off the floor, that's about as low as you need to go. For me, that's right here. So that's the ball pass. You're going to need a little bit of a break after that. Take as much time as you need. You're going to feel it. Yay, you. Okay, now, again, press that lower back to the ground and bring your knees up. You have 2 options here. You can keep your feet in this tabletop position, which if you've ever taken Pilates should feel familiar, or you can straighten your legs. All I ask is that if you straighten your legs, number 1, you don't sickle your feet. This is sickling your feet. We don't want to do that. Keep them flexed and flat because the tendency is to do this, and we don't want that. Okay? Do not sickle your feet. So if you're going to hang out here, that's cool. If you're going to straighten your leg, make sure you can see a reflection somewhere so you're watching, because we don't want them all the way back here. That's going to hyperextend your back, and we don't want that. And it's easy with each crunch to find yourself floating towards each other. So second move, reach, exhale, reach. That exhale will help propel you forward. So what we're going for, we want to be crossing the midline of your body, but also we want to make sure that each exhale, we're pressing our lower back to the ground. So I like to exhale and then follow the reach right after. And then finally, we have Russian twist. But frankly, if you're like, no, thank you, my abs are done, cool. This is a lot. It's something. But for the Russian twist, you can sit. We have a couple of options to do this. If your lower back already hurts, let's just practice sitting, exhale, locked cage, and pulling those heels off the floor and twisting your head. That works for me. And the reason I like that is to keep focusing on that exhale. It's going to fire up the muscles and support your lower back. Okay, if you want a little more, if that's where you're at, that's cool. You want a little bit more? Then you can. If you're like, I'm ready to do the whole twist, I prefer to have something in my hands while I do it. Big exhale, touch, touch. Inhale, exhale, touch, touch. Finally, if that's too simple, you can do that with your feet off the ground. But again, if you are pushing yourself past where your body is ready to go, that is going to hurt your lower back. It is not going to build the cage the way that we want to support your body literally for running. So don't go too far too soon. Remember, more advanced is not better. Advancing is what we do when what we're doing is too easy. If whatever you're doing is hurting your lower back, stop it right away, ease off, and go back to hanging out here. Because we can do all sorts of fun things here. Woo! Straighten one leg after the other on top of the sits bones. That's good, and that's going to work your abs. Not going to bother your lower back. But that's a different move, and I don't want to give you ideas. I want to give you inspiration. So those are the 3 moves I hope you feel inspired to do throughout the month with our coaches, either in the private Facebook groups, which are free to all, open to everyone for the month of August, or in the Extra Mile with Coach Janet. You're coached. You are loved. May this be the last abnormal August ever, because we're going to keep winning at life. Tired of winning at pandemic.